Hello and welcome to this week's tarot reading for Liminal Tarot. My name's Breege Burke. This week we are looking at the week of June 25th to July the 1st, 2023. So we have passed the summer solstice. Today's energy, this is a Sunday. It's funny, this is the fourth time I've started this video because there's kind of Neptunian energy today that really is kind of making things very, very hazy. And, so today, I'll just say for today, Sunday the 25th, probably not the best day to make decisions because there's a lot of potential for misunderstanding. So, so give it another day, let this energy get clear. Today may just be a day to chill out and not focus too much on anything. Nothing important anyway. So if you're not familiar with the way I do spreads on this channel, I will start with what I call the Way of Cartouche. Let me show this deck. Yeah, this is the one that I've used. It's a deck that's probably long out of print, but it was one of my first decks that I used. It's not tarot per se, but it is another oracle system that's Egyptian in nature, and I've been using it very, very long time, and it's very, very accurate. So I keep using it along with tarot just to, as I feel like the two of them complement each other and give me more information. And I also, at the end, will have a little extra, just kind of a little extra message from a couple other oracles. And today I'm actually using the Celtic Tree Oracle, the Norse Runes, and I have another deck that I use. It's a tarot deck, but it's a little more, it has a different kind of a focus, and it's called the Osho Zen Tarot. So the meanings of the cards tend to take on a little bit more of a Zen Buddhist kind of a meaning, and I find that they can be very helpful for clearing up our thoughts and the way that we're thinking. Okay, so let's get started. I do lay things out in terms of astrological houses. So we start with the first house, which is the Aries house, the house of our personality, our identity, the way we project ourselves. And wow, we've got fire and the Emperor. The Emperor is Aries energy. Aries is fire. So yeah, we are inspired. We are, Aries is the ram, right? But you have this fiery energy. There's also this kind of Leo energy that, like the roaring lion is kind of what comes to mind to me. This is a week in which we, are seeking not only to shine and to show through and, be confident, take control of the situation, take control of who we are and where we're going and how we present ourselves. And also fire is about purifying. So this is also about, burning things up, getting things out, getting things, people, situations out of your energy that do not belong there. And, making a very strong effort to take charge and to take control. So if you feel like you have been burdened too much with other people's expectations this week, or you just feel in general like, you've had a drain on your energy and resources for whatever reason, it's time to start pulling in and taking, clearing out your energy and taking back your power. There's many ways that you can do this. One way is just to kind of envision like a fireball coming from like your from the solar plexus, and then just have it like radiate outwards to your aura and just like set fire to everything around you, like just burn up and popping off all connections of people that don't belong there. Like you see like these little threads that are just snapping and being thrown off, almost like little suction cups just being thrown off. Just get rid of people's energy that doesn't belong there. So this is what we're seeing very strongly here in this first house. Now the second house, dealing with money. Yeah, okay, it's interesting. There's one of the things I noticed when I took a quick look at this reading is that there's a very strong independence theme here. Now you've got Hathor with death. So Hathor is, okay, in Cartouche, this is akin almost to either the Empress or the Nine of Pentacles in the way that it operates. And so this is the idea of the independent woman, it's that strong feminine energy, but it's independent feminine energy. It's not it can be domestic, but it's also very, very secure in and of itself. This is the woman who is, self-sustaining. She's not codependent. She doesn't need to rely on somebody else. While at the same time, she is very much fully feminine and within her femininity. But she's expressing it in a very strong, confident, independent kind of a way. And with death here, this suggests to me bringing an end to financial arrangements where you are sort of beholden to somebody else. Okay, so this is like cutting the cords with people that you are, that who may be, who you may feel like you have to go to for money, or you may feel like you need them to support you. This is a move more towards financial independence, okay, the way these two lay. The third house we have here is the Gemini house, of course, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. And this has to do with communications. And, communications, short journeys, if you're in business for yourself, this house would apply here as well. And we have the Hierophant with the Buckle of Isis. Now, the Buckle of Isis is about hard work, okay? It's about needing to put the work in. In this particular house, this may mean that there's things you have to say to people. There's things that have to be cleared up. Even if they're difficult, even if you feel like it's an uncomfortable conversation, there's definitely this sense of needing to, or it could just mean breaking communication with somebody, because the benefit is to, there's something better. In other words, by clearing out that energy from you, something new and better comes in. You're making space for the new, you're making space for new opportunity, and you're also making space for anything that you feel has been like held back and delayed, that, now it will be able to come forward. So this, again, there's this, in a business sense or in a commerce sense, again, this might be the idea that, you take some kind of financial risk or invest in something which may leave you short of money in the short term, but brings great rewards in the long term, okay? There's always the sense of giving something up but being rewarded for it. Now you have it with the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, so yeah, that's also very strongly financial. But Hierophant is usually about teaching, mentoring. It's about tradition and authority. So there may be a need to follow methods that are tried and true to get to where you want to be. If you're a non-traditionalist, if you're kind of an out-of-the-box kind of a person, you may just be in a particular situation where you need to, we don't, there's that old expression, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, there's, there's, when you're getting rid of the stuff that doesn't belong, consider, what from the past may actually work for you here. This could also indicate a teaching role too. So in terms of communication, this could be that you are communicating or acting as a teacher or a mentor to somebody. So those are the energies connected to that house. Okay, fourth house is Cancer, and this is has to do with your home, your family, your stability, your sense of security. Cancer always tends to have to do with emotions and the warm fuzzies. It's good, maternal, connected to the mother. And okay, so we have Anubis again. You got this Ace of Pentacles. Again, there's this idea of this new beginning, this new type of security. So to me, this is either, in this particular house, for some people maybe, and again, certain aspects of this reading may be very specific and they may or may not resonate with you, and don't worry about that. The general energy here is about, for some people, this could mean literally buying a new house. Okay, it could mean that. It could mean a move, because Anubis does have to do with movement and travel. But there's also a strong sense of protection with Anubis. So again, if you've been making moves, taking risks, trying to get rid of stuff that's, that you don't need, maybe you're worried about the fallout from that or what the consequences will be, or it may be difficult to let go of something, you may feel like it's going to affect your sense of security in some way, whether it has to do with your physical home or not. It can also just have to do with the home of your psyche, it doesn't have to do with necessarily with a physical place. But Anubis here can also mean, that your home is protected, okay, or that you are putting protection around your home, and creating a new sense of security. Okay, so this could literally have to do with somebody buying a new house and moving, but it also could just have to do with the idea that you are protecting yourself and reestablishing your sense of security in a new way. And again, the way I'm seeing something ending with the finances, this could well have to do with new work or something, but we'll see as we go along. Okay, so our fifth house is Leo, and this has to do with children, if you have children, creativity, love affairs, what you do for your leisure. And okay, so we have Lotus here. So Lotus is a card it basically just says you need to relax. You need to chill out, take your time. Like, you need to take some time out for you. You need to take some time out for leisure, where you can just relax, sit in your own space, be with yourself, and know, this is definitely a card of, you know, a need to get away from a stressful situation. Okay, so whether this has to do with children, whether this just in general has to do with, hey, you need to take some time out. This is not talking about taking time out to go out and party hard. It's talking more about, like, go sit on the beach, for a while and relax, in front of the water, or something like that. There's definitely a need for calming here. But you have it with the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is about support and help. So to me, this is this could have to do with you supporting other people, but a lot of times it may also just be, look to your friends, look to your loved ones. It does seem like there's somebody here, maybe a lover because of the type of the house that this is. But there's the idea of somebody who is in your environment who is supportive, or it could be a group of people who are supportive. So I don't know. I feel, I mean, sometimes you're the one doing the supporting, but I feel like, and in which case what this could be saying is, hey, you've been supporting too many people, take some time out for yourself. But take it as it resonates. But this is definitely has to do with support, and this definitely has to do with, taking a break. So, and actually what's coming into my mind is allow yourself to be supported by others. We've got this very strong independent energy here, but I think in terms of our emotional health and our well-being and our mental health, it's perfectly okay to, spend some time with our friends and to talk or to vent or, whatever it is. There's definitely this idea of seeking some kind of support. Okay, so let's go to the 6th house. Now, this is the house of health. Also what they call the house of worry. It can have to do with your job. And when I say your job, it could, the job that you do that may or may not also be your career, I mean, a lot of us people just take jobs just to do them, right? To make money. But we have Bastet, or Bast, the cat goddess card. And Bast comes up in the health house. I would say Bast, again, there's this idea of mental health. If you're feeling physically under the weather at all, or if you just, even if you're not sick, I mean, even if you feel like you're drained or something like that, Bast would indicate that there's definitely a need for mental healing, that, there's ways in which we can stress ourselves out and it will start to affect the body, in the way that when we're worried about something, our stomach can hurt or whatever, Bast has a lot to do with this kind of thing. And the energy around this is the Two of Swords. So there's this sense of feeling stuck and feeling closed off. So, you may have situations going on where you feel worried and like you feel like you need to, pull back and close yourself off. It's funny. This is interpreted in some places as having to do with like there's almost a peaceful quality to this card. But in the Rider-Waite deck, you show the blindfolded woman with 2 swords crossed across her chest. And it's the idea of not only keeping people out, but, not wanting to move forward. So I don't know, but a lot of times this is about a decision that has to be made or a stalemate that needs to be broken. But I feel like this is actually saying at the moment, like, you may just need to stay in this limbo for a while you regroup and, take care of your mental health so that will also in turn bring you good physical health. So there may be some healing that's required of you right now. And again, this does not point to anything in the nature of like a serious illness. And actually, I should note that when we do card readings, especially online, and I wouldn't even do it in person, I'm not going to, don't deal with medical issues. This is more of a general, your life may be overstressed and, you may be very worried about some things. And you need to take time out and just stay where you are right now in that regard and allow yourself to heal a little bit. Because if there's big changes coming over here that are going to affect your security, you are safe, but you may need some time to kind of recalibrate. Okay. All right. 7th house. This is the house of relationships. Okay. This was Virgo energy, and this is Libra. So, okay. So we have water here. So water indicates movement or change. Now, for some people, this could indicate a relationship with somebody who is a water sign, which would be, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But really, a lot of this just has to do with the ebb and flow of something. You have it with the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is a messenger. So, okay, again, there's this idea of something new coming in, like a message from somebody or somebody wanting to tell you something with regard to a relationship. Now, if you're not in a relationship already, like if you're not, then this might be the message of a new relationship. Might even be something coming from far away, because water could indicate somebody from across water too, or from somebody who's a water sign, or just, there's this sense of movement or the expression of emotion, because water has to do with feelings. So it could be that somebody wants to say something to you, or is, getting ready to say something to you. But if you're not in that position, if you're already in a committed relationship, then there's the sense here that there still may be somebody who wants to say something to you. There may be something, that you and your partner need to discuss. And it's going to have something to do with movement and change, or something to do with, talking about feelings in some way. We are in the time of Cancer now. And Cancer is definitely about, what is, emotional matters. So that, there just may be some feelings. There's nothing, I don't want to imply for people that this is something negative in this card, that this means like, oh, you're about to get in a fight with somebody or something. It's not that kind of a message. It's actually a very, wands are about action, okay, and they're about movement and doing. So this is about, taking action or making a kind of a change. That's going to bring about some kind of a change, either emotional or, potentially literal in terms of traveling, for your relationship. But it's not a negative change. It's just one of those things that needs to be, potentially discussed. Okay, 8th house is Scorpio, and this is the house of transformation. And yeah, oh boy, you got the 10 of Wands with the Pyramid card. Now, Pyramid is a test card. I mean, you are being tested, okay? And 10 of Wands indicates you are carrying around way too much. Like, you are carrying burdens, you're carrying other people's burdens. This is why I think I'm seeing this thing about independence, because you need to, you need to drop some of this stuff. I mean, Pyramid is a test. It's kind of like, what are you going to do? Because obviously when we have all these things and we don't want to drop them, I mean, it could be that we are, we have to examine our attitudes towards control. Do you want to be controlling of everything? And if you are, then, it's telling you need to be less controlling, like drop it, let it go. But the other possibility here is that you may think that you can't drop everything. Yes, but if I let this go, this will happen. But if I drop that, or it will let this person down, or it will be bad for that person. Your test in this case is going to be something definitely has to go. And you know what? You need to go with what feels like the right thing for you. And even if it was something that you said, oh yes, I'm going to take on this project with this person or whatever, and then you're deciding that you really can't, then you need to be really honest with yourself about that. You probably have too many balls in the air, or in the case of this card, carrying too many staves. So you need to drop something. So that is the energy right now. That certainly, being this is the house of transformation, this is about what kind of changes you need to make. Like, what kind of space do you need to move into? And that would also very much explain why we have this idea of taking time out, healing, resting, staying still for a bit, and establishing your independence, getting control of who you are. Because this, to me, vis-a-vis this, makes me feel like you are taking on stuff from other people. Like, you're carrying other people's burdens and making them your own, and letting other people define what your burdens should be. And the answer to that is no, you don't want to do that. And that's your test right now. Of course, Pyramid always bodes well for getting through the test in the end. So it is something I think that you will do. It's just right now, this is kind of what we're looking at. Okay, the 9th house. This has to do with higher education. It has to do with long distance travel, philosophy, religion. This is the house it's ruled by Jupiter, and it is actually a Sagittarius house. Okay. And you have the winged disc with the Wheel of Fortune. This is interesting. So for some people, this could mean an inevitable trip or something, a long journey that brings success. Or this may have to do with higher education, or with some kind of a system. I mean, it could be that you decide to go back to school if you're not in school, or it could mean that you're finishing school and perhaps moving on to the next phase of your life. That may apply for some people. But there's definitely this idea, because the wing disc is probably the best card in Cartouche. It's the sun disc card, and is literally about overcoming obstacles and moving on. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this indicates moving into a much better space. Once you make the sacrifices down here, you're going to move into this better space here. And, it's interesting because these two houses are actually opposite each other, and they kind of reflect each other. So we've got the Gemini Sagittarius kind of axis here. And the fact that we have the Hierophant here and the Hierophant energy, in terms of, authority, philosophy, religion, institutions, that's definitely a ninth house thing. So I don't know. Some of you may have graduated. Maybe you're gonna, maybe you're in higher ed. Maybe you're gonna move up to something. Maybe you're going to become a teacher. Not necessarily, but there's definitely this energy of moving ahead, and it looks like it's going to be with expanding your horizons. Jupiter is about expansion, so this is either about it's expansion of some kind of learning, and learning about deeper subjects or deeper things, and possibly again about long distance travel or about moving away. So it just seems like there's some life shift that's going to be happening around this. If you're not, going for a higher ed degree, or you're not, doing things like that, I would feel like the Wheel of Fortune there might be a re-examination of your core beliefs and your values, and in terms of perhaps your religious beliefs, or philosophically how you've approached the world. Like there's some kind of a change, and it's a change you've needed to make, and it's going to take you to a better place. Okay, so. Yeah, so in terms of this kind of, the bigger picture, I guess you could say, you want to expand your horizons. You don't want to contract them. I mean, you need a break right now and you need a rest, but ultimately the goal here is to open up, not to close down. Okay, so Capricorn we have up here, this is the 10th house. And in the 10th house we have air and we have the moon. Okay, so air, yeah. Air brings about change. Okay, now again, this could be a job that has to do with, or you could be moving into a career that has to do with speaking, communicating. Obviously air is very mercurial. Has to do with thinking, intellect, thoughts, but it can also indicate a change. So you might be, given I'm seeing this independence factor over here, you may decide to change jobs, or you may decide you're gonna make a move in terms of your career, that you want to change something up. Now you have it with the moon, so that can go two ways for me. Like, one is the moon could be that you need to make a move, but you're not really sure what it is. I mean, the moon often indicates a lack of clarity about something. We can't really quite see where we're at. But the moon also has to do with, intuition. So I don't know, for some people at least, this could be a movement into more intuitive work, okay? Or, things that are more heart-centered or more intuition-centered. For example, if you've been, I don't know, working in technology, or if you're an accountant or something, you may decide this has got very strong like Cancer Pisces energy. So, you may decide to move into something like, I don't know, doing energy work or something. It's not that weird. I mean, I know there's a lot of people I know who do the kinds of energy work and stuff like that I do, and most of us used to be like IT people or systems people of some kind. So that interpretation is not out of the question. But generally speaking, my general feeling about this is that you're ready to make a change in your career, or you're about to make, a new step, because like I said, you're getting control of your identity here. And you may be wanting to do something that's a little closer to the heart, but you may not know exactly what that is yet. And as we saw down here in the house related to job, there's no need to make a change just yet, but you do want to work on healing yourself and getting yourself in a good space for that. Okay, so 11th house, now we have Aquarius energy, and it's funny, we got the Aquarius card here, which is the star, and it's, let me just do this, because apparently I found out that YouTube will block videos if there's anything that's perceived as nudity, as ridiculous as it is. So we have the star and we have Thoth. Now this is the house having to do with friendships, having to do with your goals, forward thinking, innovation, but also like organizations you belong to and so forth. And you have Thoth with the star. So what immediately I'm hearing in my head is, this is about timing, okay? This is about divine timing, that, you are going to meet the right people, make the right friends, get your wishes when the time is right. And with the star is the star of hope, okay? You may be feeling a bit vulnerable right now. You may be in a position where there's a lot of possibility, but again, like with the moon, you're maybe not sure where certain things are going. There could be changes on the relationship front, wherever this ends up applying. there's this energy, but the star is, to me, this is a house that sometimes is referred to as the hopes and wishes house, and you have what was one of the wish cards there. So there's this offers very strong encouragement that whatever it is you're going for, that you're going to get there. Okay. But again, you've got to allow for timing. Okay. You want to make sure everything's at the right time. Don't push for things to happen before they're ready to. So that's the message there. Let me put this guy on top. Okay. And then the 12th house, we have, okay, this is your house. This is the house of Pisces, and it has to do with what is hidden. Okay. So if this has to do with what you show to people and your external persona, your brand, whatever, this is about what you don't show to people. And it may also be about what you're afraid of. So, okay, we've got Sphinx and Judgment. So there has been some real deep soul, like excavation, like soul searching. This may be, what has brought about some of these changes. I mean, and Sphinx has to do with what's hidden. You may be discovering things about yourself that you didn't know. Okay, this is like secrets that tend to be revealed. And this is a house of secrecy. So I don't know. There's a feeling here that you may be consciously coming into awareness of something that was hidden from you. Okay. And then you have Judgment. Judgment, yeah, because Judgment's an awakening. Okay. And so therefore now it's like you need to make a decision. Okay. You've become aware, you're becoming aware of something that's secret. I mean, it's been hidden. Maybe you're still not fully conscious of it because it's 12th house. But there's definitely the idea that you are going to be, your unconscious is waking you up to something that's going on, and you need to make a decision about it. Okay, you've got this this Judgment card. You may be afraid to make that decision. It may be something you're uncomfortable making, but maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation. But it's something that needs to be done. So if you have been kind of stalling on things, it's actually okay for like this week, this moment, to not push yourself into things. You don't want to push things too fast. But I think in terms of letting go of the past in particular, there's going to be this need to drop something. Okay, so overall we have the High Priestess and Osiris. Now Osiris is about, standing on firm ground. Okay, it's you can rely, being self-reliant. Okay, there's definitely this theme of self-reliance here. Like it's saying, where you're feeling shaky, slow down, take your time, let yourself heal. But this is ultimately about self-reliance. Like you're about to get what you want. Okay, whatever it is you've been trying to work towards in life, you're very close to it, and you're laying the foundations, and you can trust your judgment. But you may be overstressed or overworn out or still taking on other people's stuff, and so you need to clear that. With the High Priestess. The High Priestess, again, this has to do with things perhaps that you keep hidden from other people or that they might keep hidden from you. But again, there's also a strongly intuitive element to this card. So, there's this, with Osiris, I would say that there's a strong need to trust, not only what perhaps your logical mind is telling you, but it's like kind of a marriage of that with your intuition. Okay. In the Cartouche deck, Osiris's mate card is Isis, and that's actually the same card. So it's almost like the idea that both sides of your psyche are working in harmony together. Both the one that is intuitive and that without, necessarily having evidence, you sense the truth of something. And then Osiris, which is, excuse me, sorry about that. This is more about your judgment in terms of, whatever it is you are thinking, you can rely on your own judgment. You don't need other people to cast doubt on what you're doing. Okay. So that's our reading for this week. I think that, so definitely some big changes ahead, but do take some time out for healing and do focus, whatever your focus is, it's focused on being independent and on taking charge of yourself and getting rid of other people's stuff. Okay. So our extra cards for this week, we have the Willow card from the Celtic Tree Oracle. We have Tewaz reversed in the Norse runes. And this time 2 cards had flown out of the deck. So I have the Aloneness card and I have the Success card. Yeah, same, what are we saying here? The idea that, we have to be comfortable with doing things on our own. And success is about visibility, about reputation, about saying, yeah, you're just about there. But there's this idea that you are going to be successful by going it alone. So I don't know if you have been working with someone, or if there's been a partnership that's dubious or a business situation that's kind of dubious. It may be just saying, you need to take some time out, retreat, figure out where it is you really want to go, and you need to start pursuing that direction on your own. It doesn't mean that you may not collaborate or have help down the road. Okay, that's not saying that you're never going to do that. But you are in a position just by yourself. Like, you don't need other, in other words, your success isn't dependent on other people. If other people say, oh, I did this for you, I made you, well, no, they didn't. You've done quite a lot. You've done quite a lot on your own for yourself, and you need to recognize yourself kind of on your own, in your power, like with what you've done. We have the Willow over here. Now, the Willow is, again, there's a strong Empress energy to this. It's associated with the month of February, and Goddess Breege. I'm just kind of laughing because that's who I'm named for. But this is the idea of the seeds that have been planted. It's a very strongly feminine card and feminine energy. And you noticed over here we had this strong feminine energy too, in terms of our finances, in terms of the seeds that we're planting, and also in terms of our values, by the way. The second house has to do with values. So this very strongly feminine omen here. This is the idea that you are, you have planted the seeds. Okay, you are, there is this, and there's this promise that things, or at least there's this very great hope, or that this is going to blossom into the fruit that you want it to. In fact, it seems very, very likely. However, we have Tewaz reversed, and this literally means, if ill-timed action will make life force spill away. So again, it's warning you, divine timing. You may be ready to charge ahead on something right now, and you have reasons to take some time out. So, it may even be in the form of like an opportunity that comes up that seems good and then it quickly goes away. Well, then it wasn't the right time for that opportunity. Okay. You just need to know that you are, everything is going to be coming to you. There's going to be progress. There's going to be movement. It's just right now, you want to wait for the right time. Okay, that seems to be the message right now. And again, perhaps with all of this kind of, uncertain energy that's been floating around lately, in terms of, like I said, this Neptunian energy and so forth, it may be too easy to make a mistake right now. So, so ultimately, yes, you are going to move ahead. You're basically on the right path. You're moving towards independence. You're cutting ties that you need to cut. And you ultimately will end up where you need to be. But for right now, do take some time out for yourself. Thanks for listening this week, and I'll see you next week.